All right, like Karen said, I'm not from around here. I had sex with a stranger, so I'm a single mom. That's how you kick off your 40s, you guys. 2 college degrees, and then boom, mistakes were made. I don't know, my family in Alabama was like, we didn't think you're one of us. It just took you longer. I'm like, thanks, guys. That's great. My mom's not super excited about this sex with strangers thing. She's like, I don't understand why you have to have sex with people that you just met. And I'm like, well, Mama, our cousins don't live up here, so it's kind of what they do in Minnesota. It's a little crazy. I do have a guy that I have frequent flyer miles with. That's what we're calling it. Nobody get excited. If he were a Muppet, he'd be like Sam the Eagle. Like, he's super serious and zero sense of humor. Yeah, you know Sam the Eagle, like, America, you know, Trump voter. Anyway, I just hang out with him to keep him away from the polls. That's a service I'm doing. So I know it's spicy, our friendship. So I was going to tell you the thing about him is that he's a gun person, and you can be really honest. It's confessional time. Anybody here a gun person? They clearly, you are, sir? All right, yeah, you, woo-wooing over there, gun people, yeah. Okay, the rest of you are my people. I am not a huge gun fan, but he's a mega gun lover. He has so many guns, sometimes he'll say, oh, I forgot I owned that. How do you have so many guns? You forget a few. That's a lot of guns. It's a lot of guns. The zombie apocalypse happens, however, I'm beelining to his house. So we were hanging out with his friends that are gun people, and this guy said, oh, you guys are just so nice. I'm going to give you 2 grenades. Because that's what gun people do when they like you. They just give you grenades. I'm like, oh, wow, I have a toddler. I don't need grenades. So I stuck them in his backpack. Like, just stuck them in my friend's backpack because I don't want the kids around the grenades. Now, just to be really clear so we can calm everybody down, they are actual military grenades, but they don't have any powder in them. So they're not going to explode, but they have the pin, they're the exact right material, they're actual grenades, right? That's just, what do you do with that, right? So I stuck them in his backpack, a couple months went by. His sister is a Delta pilot. You guys are already there. They had a family emergency, and he grabbed his backpack to hop on a last-minute flight to go save in a family situation, right? And didn't remember that I had stuck the grenades in his backpack. Yeah, so I'm at the dentist, and I've got the dentist and the dental hygienist both having hands in their mouths, and I get a text message. And I look at it, and it's like, boop, and it's from Sam the Eagle. And he goes, you won't believe what happened. And I'm like, what? He goes, I'm not ready to talk about it. I'm like, what are you, 14? What is going on? I mean, I have people in my mouth right now. What? And he writes, I shut down the Minneapolis airport. And immediately, I'm like, great! Oh my God! I immediately knew that I had screwed him really hard. And I'm like, oh! And so I start Googling, what's the TSA fine? Does anybody know? It's $14,000 per grenade. That's a $28,000 prank. You guys, and here's the best thing about Sam the Eagle, is he's the kind of man that never makes mistakes, right? He always drives the speed limit. He's never in the wrong. It's always wackadoos like me. So he said, from his perspective, when he was at the Minneapolis airport, and it clearly where something went sideways, because all of a sudden he put his bag on there, it goes to the TSA thing, and let's for a minute imagine the TSA agent, shall we? Who's having what I would term maybe a normal day, right? Like, toothpaste, peanut butter, sex toy, grenade! Wah! And like hits the button where the people come running out with guns drawn, all excited. This is Sam. So I'm standing there like, who's up here trying to make America great again? What's going on today at the airport? And then they hold up my bag and they're like, what's in this bag? And I'm like, underwear, socks. What else is in the bag? Phone, charger. Are there explosives in this bag? Oh, there might be grenades. The best part is his sister was trying to pull away from the gate at the Minneapolis airport and got a note that said, hold, we may have a bomb threat. So her day's messed up, right? I'm like, oh my God, this story is so great. Are you gonna tell her? He's like, no. I'm telling one person in the world, and it's you. And I'm like, you picked the wrong one person, buddy. Because that's amazing, and it needs to be told. That's what happened there. My family is from Alabama, like I said earlier. My mom's from Alabama. I figure wherever your mom is from, it's like where you're from. And I have a son now, and he's 5. He's pretty great. But there's a very big difference between being a kid now and being a kid when I was a kid. And you guys probably already know that, right? Like, it's so different now. Because I grew up in the 80s, and if you had weird kids in the 80s, they were just the weird kid, right? Like when an arm didn't work and one, just like some kids are weird. And in America today, if you have a weird kid, we are gonna fix your weird kid. We're giving it a diagnosis, and a team of teachers are gonna get together. We're gonna transform your little buddy, right? That didn't happen in the 80s. And here's how I know. Because when I was a kindergartner in 1980, I ate the class pet gecko named Rocky. Yeah, I'm gonna slow that down for you. It was a long time since snack. And I looked over at the terrarium and thought, what would that feel like in my mouth? Would get you less friends in elementary school than it does in high school for sure, you guys. And so I leaned over and I put the lizard in my mouth, and as widely reported, the teacher came by and pulled out the tail and just one leg. Oh yeah, mama didn't raise a quitter, and I've always been a swallower. That's how that went down. Yeah, thanks. It's a lot of swallowing. Here's the thing that kills me though, you guys ready? There was no note home. There was no parent-teacher conference. I Ozzy Osbourne the class pet in front of 20 unsuspecting 5-year-olds. And the teacher was like, well, she's off the pace. How does that happen, you guys? And people always say these dumb things like, oh, if you get to prison, you gotta beat up the guy in the prison yard the first day, show him who's boss, right? I think that's something stupid that people who've never been to prison say. But if you eat a live gecko in kindergarten, you don't have problems the rest of elementary school. They're like, let that girl forward, she ate Rocky. It's true. I lived in Alabama as an adult too in a very dark time of my life. And I lived in an apartment, and I thought it was super awesome. It was in Huntsville, Alabama, where I thought I'd meet a NASA nerd. What? But they only like interbreed, so I never really met any. Met a lot of rednecks. So anyway, I lived in a renovated apartment. Here's what I didn't get. When they renovated that apartment, they didn't close up all the holes in the walls. Yeah, and I lived next to a country club that had a huge dumpster, and it was next to a river. So can anybody know what that's a perfect recipe for? Yeah, you're there! Rats! She's like, rats! Yes, and I didn't know I had rats because I used to travel for my job, and I came back from a long trip to Memphis, and my neighbor downstairs goes, hey, your cat has really been scratching it up there. And I'm like, oh, I don't have a cat, so that's new news. And they went, oh yeah, you do every time you're gone, it just scratches around a lot. And I'm like, oh, exciting. So I went to the Walmarts. Here's what I discovered. There's Target problems and there's Walmart problems. Have y'all noticed this? Like, Target doesn't sell, you've got a rat infestation. There's no aisle for that in Target. Target's got aisles for wallpaper and glitter and crap, but no, like, rats. Like, but Walmart has a whole section about, like, here's what to do when stuff gotten into your place. Now I went to Walmart and I got the biggest, right? It is a different, yeah. Have you noticed that Target has the upset tummy and Walmart has explosive diarrhea? Like, it's just a different life. Like, it's a different life, and I was leading a Walmart life. Anyway, so I went and bought the biggest rat traps they had, and I lined them up in my apartment, because that's what you're supposed to do. I Googled it. And when I came home from work that day, there was a rat with a trap on his head just walking around alive. Like, oh, who turned out the lights? This is just what? I can't get back in my hole. What's happening here? He had the trap on his head, you guys, squeaking, alive, not anywhere close to it. It's like bit his cheek, you know? It was like, and I had 4-inch tiles, so the rat was 8 inches, and there was another 8 inches of tail. I mean, that was huge. So I called my dad on the phone, like, oh my God, Daddy, I don't know what to do, I got a rat. He goes, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna put that rat in the Walmart bag, swing it against the wall, until it stops screaming. And I'm like, that is not what I'm gonna do. That's not what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna walk outside and I'm gonna flag down the first F-150 that comes down the road, and that guy's gonna do that, right? And so that's what happened. This guy comes driving out, and I'm like this, in Alabama, right? Nighttime. And this guy pulls over, and he goes, yes, ma'am. And I said, I need you to come help me kill some in my apartment. And without hesitation, he goes, let's do this. He didn't even ask, like, is it a human? I mean, what's going on? He was like, I'm in, we're gonna kill something? Yeah, baby, right? He comes walking in the apartment, takes one look at the rat and goes, that is a huge rat. What do you want me to do about that? And I'm like, well, you're gonna put it in the Walmart bag. You're gonna sling it around until it stops screaming. He was such a good sport, and he did it, and it was as gruesome as you'd imagine. But here's what was crazy. You ready? This is the crazy part. He goes, can I take this home to my wife? I'm like, so I've never been married, but I imagine it's like a point system. Like it was like, I need extra credit. I've been kind of a jerk this week. I need to prove to her that I killed some lady's rat and like get me up on the... I don't know what that equals in marital math, but I was happy to let him have it. Maybe he was just like, I need to explain why I was in some lady's apartment. There was lots of screaming. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm a photographer by trade. That's what I've done the past, 20 years since I got out of school. So I, of course, took a portrait of this rat before its untimely demise. And I took it to, oh, don't be sad. It had so many brothers we met later that week. That mama had lots of babies. Anyway, I took it to the rental office and I showed it to the exterminator, and the exterminator said, that is a gorgeous picture of a Norwegian roof rat. Can we have that for our files? I'm gonna leave you on this joke because it's important to me. Give a clap if you had any family or loved ones in the military or you served. Anybody have? Yeah, it's a big deal to me because my dad was in the Air Force, my grandfathers were in the military as well, so we have a huge military family. Yeah, it's a big thing to me. You are welcome. I feel like I can get on stage and say silly, stupid jokes as a woman and never have to worry about my safety because of men and women that protect us across the globe, and it's a big deal as an American, so it's something I really enjoy. And I was going to tell you really quick about my grandpa's funeral. My grandpa fought in 3 wars, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, right? Total badass. Died watching Wheel of Fortune. How does that happen? How do you do that? How do you survive 3 wars? Someone buys a vowel and you're like, so we buried him in Arlington National Cemetery, which is where JFK is buried. It's in DC, and it's a huge honor to be there. And if you've never been to a military funeral, they're full of pageantry and ceremony. They fold up a flag and say, on behalf of a grateful nation. It is very moving. And so they do a thing called the 21-gun salute, where 7 soldiers line up and they do 3 shots. And even if you know it's coming, it still hits you. So we hear, boom, and my Nana fainted, and my brother screamed, Jesus Christ, they shot Nana! Oh my God, this is the best funeral ever. We have 2 more shots, come on! Pick it up a notch. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great